Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name's Dylan Schultz, you're watching Prehistoric Companions. Here next week I am heading up north to Minnesota to see some family, so I'm going on vacation. And I need someone to watch my animals. Mike, I'm talking to you specifically. I'm having a family friend watch over my animals while I'm gone. It'll be about a 6-day trip, so probably our friend will need to check in at least once or twice in the middle of that time that I'm gone. Mostly just to pop in and make sure that everything's good, lights are good, there's nothing wonky, weird happening. Now, of course, I do have cameras, so I'll be checking those daily just because I like to check in on my animals. And at nighttime, I can definitely make sure, if I accidentally forgot to lock something up, I can see them like, oh, we got an escapee. Fortunately, I've learned my lesson. I'd be lying if I said I haven't had animals escape. My milk snake, Looney, has definitely been a total escape artist. I can't count on my fingers how many times she's gotten out. But not anymore, she's on lockdown. So typically I will check, double check, triple check, and maybe sometimes quadruple check before I leave anywhere just to ensure that all the animals have fresh water, there's no poop or anything gross in their enclosure, no urates, which is calcified urine. It's that white stuff in their poop, that all the enclosures are locked, everything's good to go. I just want to double check everything before I leave just to make sure that I can go and enjoy myself wherever I'm gone and know that everyone's well taken care of and they have what they need to be comfy for at least a couple days while I'm out of town. If I take really good care of everything, these guys are good for at least 2 days on their own. But since I'm gone for 6 days, I definitely want to have someone come in and just check on things, feed the bearded dragons, which I'll show you guys here first thing. Then we'll hop into the reptile room and kind of show you about everything else that we'll need taken care of while I'm gone. These cool LEDs on the outside, remote control, color changing LEDs, just for my viewing pleasure. I have quite a bit of indoor plants that'll probably need watered at least once while I'm gone. So I'll keep all the bearded dragons' food and their supplements, their calcium, multivitamin, and bee pollen right here in the refrigerator so that stays nice and fresh. Here in my bedroom, I have Nova, my leopard gecko. Here she is right now, looking adorable. She's so friendly, always wanting to come out and say hello, see what's going on. She just thinks that I have bugs for her. So at least 3 or 4 times a week, I'll give her a couple dubia roaches, dusted in calcium as well. I'll spray a little water here in her humid hide just in case she's shedding. You know, she's able to do that a little easy. And always make sure that she has fresh, clean water. I gotta top her off here. And again, make sure enclosure is nice and secure. Usually with this one, once I have it latched up, I always like to tug on the enclosure a little bit just to make sure that's closed. Alright, and then here in the reptile room, everything for the most part should be taken care of. At least the snakes, no one will need to be fed while I'm gone. They're good for a week. I'll make sure they have clean water. But of course, if we go into any of these tubs and we open up any of these tubs, just kind of checking everybody. Ooh, Danger Noodle looks like he wants some food again. I just fed this guy. But if they look like they have dirty water, I'll toss that out and give them fresh, clean water. Steve down here is a Clark's spiny tail lizard. This here is actually a local species here in New Mexico. And I'll give him like 3 or 4 good-sized dubia roaches that he can chomp down on 3 or 4 times a week as well. This vision enclosure has one of my baby ball pythons that I produced last year. Shouldn't need to open any of these snake enclosures unless we want to do any sort of interacting. I have a Pac-Man frog here in one of my 10-gallon enclosures, and she just ate a gerbil the other evening, so she should be good to go. I'll feed her more bugs right before I leave. In this enclosure, I have my Antaresia childreni, or my children's python, Andromeda. She's currently up in the corner here. We can't see her, it's too dark. I'll have to do a whole separate video on this species because these actually are really cool snakes. And here she comes now, coming to peek out and say hello. She thinks she's getting fed. Definitely tell by those tongue flickers in her body language that she thinks that there's food. She's going towards the top of the enclosure, usually where I'll drop in like a small pinky mouse. This species loves food. When I get back from my vacation, this frog, this is Kermit, it's an African bullfrog, Pixiocephalus adspersus. This is a female, and she's going to get a big upgrade too. I'll feed her plenty of bugs. Probably if these frogs are out, we can tongue feed them a couple of bugs if they'll take. If these frogs are out and about, they'll definitely always eat bugs, so I got some good-sized Madagascar hissers that would be a good dinner for these guys. at least 2 or 3 times a week too. I'll feed these guys either some roaches, or once a month I'll give them a good sized chicken or a mouse or rat. Here are my 40-gallon enclosures. I have Linguini, my Central American boa constrictor, and Kona, my blood python. And again, they're snakes, so they're fed. They're gonna be great, good to go until I get back. Again, if they just need like fresh, clean water, they got dirty water, take that out, scrub it down, rinse it real good, give them fresh water, good to go. So it just gives me some sort of peace of mind while I'm gone, knowing that someone's gonna be popping in to check out and make sure everything's okay. Everything's on timers and thermostats, so you shouldn't have any issues with lighting or things overheating, anything weird like that. But it's good just to have someone pop in, just in case if you smell something or see or notice anything that seems a little abnormal, then at least we'll know. None of the feeder insects should need any feeding. I'll make sure that those guys are nice and fed while I'm gone as well. They're roaches, so they're very hardy animals. Throw in some carrots and some zucchini and vegetables, and they'll be good to go. So it's really important if you have a lot of animals that you know someone that you can trust and is reliable and they're going to take the time, especially when you've got like different animals. Like I have lots of different species that I care for, and to try and find someone who's going to take the time to want to learn about them, someone who's not afraid of them and is willing to, you know, take on the job. Our friend who's going to be watching my animals for me loves snakes. He doesn't have any issues, not afraid at all, so I feel pretty good. We're almost at 600 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel and you like art and reptiles, consider subscribing. And stay tuned, I'll be filming some of my adventures up north in Minnesota. We'll see what kind of crazy shenanigans I can get myself into up there. Basically what I do is every day I take their dishes that I have in there and I just wipe them down with hot water and dish soap, make sure to get rid of all the soap, wash it real good. I like to pre-make their salads, that way that I have like bulk or I have salad every day to feed them, that way I'm not having to prepare it every single day. But I'll clean their plates and I'll give them fresh salad. I'll throw away the old salad and give them brand new salad every single day. It's okay if they don't eat it, it's there in case they're hungry, you know. Just every day I try to provide them with new salad and try to mix it up a little bit. Try to give them different things and always research what you can and can't give your bearded dragon before you go and feed them whatever you got. Because, for example, avocados are highly toxic to bearded dragons. They will kill your bearded dragon. Do not give them avocados. So now about a weekly basis, I might give these guys anywhere between 10 and 15 bugs each. I primarily feed them dubia roaches because that's a good staple in their diet. I'll get about 30 dubia roaches between ash and magma, put them in a cup and dust them with some calcium as you've seen me putting on their salad. Now only maybe about 3 times a week am I actually giving them calcium and multivitamins. It's not an everyday because there is such thing as too much calcium. So now I might give these guys their 10 to 15 bugs all at once, or I might break it up over the course of a couple of days. That way they get nice little treats here and there. When we're all done feeding the dragons, most important thing we do is make sure that we close the enclosures, the lids, doors are nice and secure, and then put the lock on here just like this. And then turn the key, and you can just leave the key right in there. Then with these tubs, just always make sure that those are pushed in nice. But if they're even slightly open a little bit like that, then boom, we got escapees. So we just always make sure that those are nice and pushed in. Let's check on Charlie here. Hello, Charlie. How you doing? Oh, he thinks he's getting food. No food time. Any of these tubs, if we do any sort of interacting, it's always very important with snakes not to approach them from up front. This here is Hula. She's a bamboo female royal python. She got a little bit of attitude. She'll bite. So if I want to interact with this animal, of course, I'm just going to go up from behind, and when I pick her up, I just want to support as much of her body weight as possible, and then boom. You're holding a snake. Gorgeous animal. We'll go ahead and put her away. Again, make sure clean water and that the tub is good to go. So here I've got a little table, and one of these tubs I have my small feeder dubia roaches, small mediums, locking lids. They got ventilation on top and on the side. Then I just have a 16-ounce clear plastic cup that I usually use for my ball python enclosures. I'll go in the fridge, throw a little bit of calcium in there, a little bit of multivitamin so you can dust the roaches. And I'll scurry around in here. I'll get like 10 for Ash, 10 for Magma, maybe 4 for Steve, the Clark spiny tail lizard, 4 or 5 for Nova, my leopard gecko. Then if I'm going to feed the frogs, then I have some enclosures with some Madagascar hissing roaches. I'll show you those. Definitely got to make sure to be careful with this not to knock it over. That'd be a bad day. Then we're all done in here. Put the lid back on, lock it up, put her back. And here I have some Madagascar hissers that are, these ones are my feeders. I'll pop this lid off right here, pull those tabs, and then kind of go in here. You can see them all hanging out. These are good sized roaches right here for the frogs, actually. Perfect. And I might just feed them 2 each of those. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thanks for stopping by. Do me a favor, hit that like button to let the YouTube algorithm know that people enjoy my content. You guys stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next one.